Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Hey, hey, ah, hey, hey. What's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and American Team? It's your guy G, the #1 Cowboy fan, Hampton, coming at you live, direct, and correct with some Mo news. That's right, I said Mo news that you can use. And here we are, Saturday Sit Down with your guy G, the #1 Cowboy fan, Hampton. Let's give it up. Yeah, here we are on a Saturday morning. I'm sitting here chilling and acting like a villain. Anyway, so yeah, here we are Saturday morning. I hope everybody's doing well on this Saturday morning, April 13th. It's somebody's birthday today. Whose birthday? April 13th. I know somebody's birthday today. I know my grandson's birthday is coming up. And guy will be 16 years old. She 16 years ago. Frederick Dorton III was conceived. Yeah, man. Great kid, good kid. I'll tell you, but he used to give me the blues back in the day. Okay, man. So I got to get started, man, and everything. I'm a little bit behind, and things are kind of like going any which way but loose. But it's a great day. It's a great morning. It's nice outside. Look, it seems that spring is here again, and we just got over some rain, and the sun is shining, and things like that. Like I got some things to do outside. But anyway, with that being said, guys, you know me, I have to get into this, and I got to give thanks to everyone that has made this channel to what it is today. So with that being said, I have to give a big shout out and big thank you to all those social media groups out there that has supported us and has jumped on board to show their support of the Cowboy Huddle podcast. And with that being said, I always have to give a big thanks to Cowboy Huddle Podcast Facebook, Cowboys Fan 365, We Them Boys, 520 Boys, Queen of Honor by Cowboys Fan Club Mexico, Cowboy Fan Zone 24/7 Guadalajara, Hard Hit Us Lifestyle, One Star and One Family. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, One Star One Family got their event going on this weekend. So yes, that's what's going on. So let's give it up to One Star One Family and what all that they do and all they bring to the community and to the Cowboys. They're not a fan base, but to the Cowboys in general. Yeah, man. So these guys are doing great things, man. Big up to them, man. I love them to death, man. They show their support towards us as well. So we're all working together. As one, like you say, One Star, One Family, and that's what it's all about. But again, here we are. Let me turn this music down a little bit, man, so we can get to this stuff. Also, what's going on, man. I have already told you once, and I'm telling you twice, so I might as well tell you 3 times. Again, the Cowboy Huddle podcast apparel. Step in style with the Cowboys Huddle. New apparel. Represent our Cowboys while supporting the Cowboy Huddle podcast. Great for tailgate parties, home games, as well as away game. Visit and browse all of our apparels at www.cowboyshuddleapparel.com. And right now, at this particular time, until May 30th, we have a $5 off for any purchases over $55. With the discount code We Them Boys. This offer again lasts till May 30th. So, guys, if you can show your support and go to this website and just look at some of the apparel that we got going out there, man. We got some things going on again. And if you do just decide to purchase any product that we have on the website, send us a picture. Send us a picture, and we will display your uh, you styling and stepping in style in the Cowboy Huddle Podcast apparel. So give it up. One more thing we got going on. We are like less than 7 days away. Yeah, 7 days away until the big brawl down in Laredo, Texas. Yes, we got a big brawl that's fighting for a belt. So we have a 4-0 versus a 5-0. And your Cowboy Huddle Podcast, we do support and we sponsor Gary Cashhead Nito Hampton. Right now, he's standing at 5-0. He will be going down to Laredo to face off against Juan Garcia. I think his name is Juan Nito Garcia, something like that. So there's a 4-0 versus a 5-0, and a 0 has to go, and it will not be Cashhead Nito. Ooh, come on now. So yeah, it's going down this week, next weekend. I will be in Laredo, so I don't know if I'll be able to do a show on next Saturday, but it's all good. So with that being said, let's get right on to what the latest news and update and things that's going on. But I don't know if you guys heard, man, but people are still wondering why hasn't anything taken place. What's wrong with the Cowboys? They're not doing anything. Well, just because we don't hear anything going on doesn't necessarily mean there's nothing going on. So I'm going to share this video with you guys. This is Undisputed Live with Keyshawn Johnson and Skip Bayless. And they're actually talking about the Cowboy situation. And they're reporting on this one guy from Pro Football Talk, Mike Floria. He had made a comment about the Cowboys. So we're going to get into this video. So there's two takes to this that I want to share with you guys. And we're going to definitely discuss what they're talking about. And I'm going to kind of elaborate on what I think that's taking place. And again, yeah, this has a lot to do with the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, and some other things. So let me get my volume together, and so you guys can hear what's going on. But yeah, it's something that we need to talk about. And let's get right into this here real quick, guys. Let's go.
Their headlines this offseason by number one, claiming they're all in for 2024, and number two, doing absolutely nothing to prove it. That dichotomy has helped conceal a far bigger problem. They have contractual messes with three of their key players, and they've shown no inclination to do anything other than delay, and delay. Florio concludes, don't be mad at the players for wanting fair contracts. Be mad at the Cowboys who seem to think playing for the team has some sort of inherent value that should cause players to happily take less. Keyshawn, once upon a time you played for this franchise and for that owner. Do you agree with this criticism?
No, I don't agree with Mike Florio at all. But what he did say there is the players should take less. That's what you and Michael Irvin thought. Players should take less to play with the Cowboys.
But he's saying they shouldn't take less.
No, they shouldn't take less. But for some reason, you and Michael think that.
I think Dak should have taken less the last time.
And as far as they don't do right by the players and things of that nature, that's not true. What young player did they ever lose that they wanted to keep that they drafted and they didn't pay? They pay them all. They pay them all. We can go as far back as Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin if we want to. Troy Aikman, Nate Newton. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on.
You just went Nate Newton?
We can go all the way back. But we can stay right here in present time.
Yep.
They took care of Zeke. They're going to take care of CeeDee Lamb. They took care of Diggs. They're going to take care of Parsons.
Mhm.
They took care of Tyron Smith.
They did.
They're going to take care of Tyler Smith. They took care of Zach Martin. I can just go on and on and on and on. There's this narrative that's out there as if the Cowboys are cheap. They don't want to pay their players. They're negotiating. That's a simple negotiation. It's not that deep. Just because you don't know what they're doing and they're not out in the public discussing what their plans are, everybody all of a sudden gets their hair on the back of their neck and go crazy because the Dallas Cowboys are a team that gets clicks and people like to talk about them and they want to know what they're doing on a daily basis. And because you don't know, the first thing you try to say is, well, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They got to make decisions, man. And they're making the decisions. They're just not telling us what decisions they're making, Skip. In the end, do I think that 2 of the 3 players are going to get paid this year? Yes, I do. 2 of the 3. The 2 is going to get paid. It's going to be CeeDee Lamb and Michael Parsons. I think Dak Prescott plays it out, and I think y'all lose Dak Prescott at the end of the season. That's
Well, that's, and that big shout out to Undisputed. I mean, that one thing about this is a serious conversation, and I definitely have to give the credits to Undisputed Live with Keyshawn Johnson and Skip Bayless. All credits goes to them. But again, Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk basically was saying that what is going on. They're saying this, and we're all in. We're past all in. I think we all know what all in is. All in means in-house. In means in-house. We talked about all in doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to pull all these folks and from outside free agency. Mike McCarthy already said that he's not big on free agency. I said once before, Mike McCarthy has brought the Wisconsin cheese to Texas. What does that mean? Conservative. There's no flash. There's no splash. There's no bling. There's no ring. None of that. None of that. It's plaid shirts, overalls, and work boots. That's where we are. There's not going to be any big splashes. So we know that. And all in again means that everything is in-house. Now, Skip Bayless and like Keyshawn, and I don't agree with Keyshawn on a lot of things, but I see where he's coming from on this, he always calls Skip Bayless, delusional about the Cowboys. Now, and I understand Skip Bayless is a fan, but sometimes I think Skip Bayless, what he does, he thinks out of emotion. No, he talks with emotion without thinking. Everything's coming from Skip Bayless from emotion, and he's not thinking of the proper or the right situation or how the situation should be played out. So, with that being said, what they're saying now, Skip Bayless is saying that these players should take less in order to sign more players. Well, let me ask Skip Bayless this. Skip Bayless, would you take less for the job that you do right now? Would you take less on your base pay that you're making right now for the job that you do? I think not. I think not that you would take a cut in pay that you may bring other former football players onto your show. It's not going to happen. And Keyshawn also mentioned about Michael Irvin. All these players should take less so they can bring. No, you shouldn't have to do that. What you have to stop doing is bringing these players in for a 2 and 3 year contract and only keeping them for 1 year and then releasing them. Okay? So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into this, and people are saying, well, there's nothing taking place. Well, there's a lot that's going in. So, but let me say this here. Jerry does, and I have to agree with Keyshawn Johnson. Jerry pays his players. You cannot name a player that Jerry has not paid. There's not one player that. Now, we can say it's all about how Jerry goes about paying his players. We can say that. We know that Jerry and the way he manages his money as far as a general manager and how he goes about paying them, it hurts him more than it helps him, because he's an owner, but at the same time, he's not a general manager. So this, he has the loot, but he don't know how to distribute his loot to the players. So yeah, what happens is Jerry finds himself in a situation because he pays these players late. And when he pays these players late, this brings on turmoil. This brings on turmoil with the restructuring of Zach Martin. How many times have he restructured Zach Martin's contract? How many times have he restructured Tyron Smith's contract? And all that did was to bring players from the outside that didn't last. And when you do that, you find yourself, even after we release these players, they're valuable, they're value to the team. And like this is something that Pete said. He said, the value doesn't add up to what we bring each player in for, or the time that we expect from each player. We're releasing them before they reach their final contract. And this is through restructuring contracts. So we release them and then they go off and playing for some other team or sitting at home, and we're steady paying them. We're paying them money even though they're with another team. Dorrance Armstrong, Leighton Vander Esch. So we got some people that's out there that's still getting paid and they're no longer in the team. So again, yes, Jerry pays his players. We can say that he does players pay. We cannot deny the fact. Now we're talking about the Dak situation and my buddy Anthony Moore. Give it up for Anthony Moore. This guy is a super huge Dak Prescott fan. We're gonna get into that in a minute, but whoo, yeah. But yeah. So with that being said, and we're talking about there's nothing taking place at the moment. Well, just like Keyshawn said, just because we don't hear about any movement or any signings or releasing or new contract doesn't mean that Jerry and his staff is not behind closed doors negotiating. Okay? So I know everybody said, well, what's going on? Why there's not going to be any movement. And if there is, they better do something before this draft pick. Because we're talking about the Dak situation and where he is right now. That does seems that Dak looked like he's going to end up playing out this final year. Who knows? We don't know. Everything we're doing is our opinion, and we're guessing what might happen. Right now, where I'm guessing, I don't think I see Jerry Jones releasing Dak. Allowing Dak to play this final year without getting something for Dak. Personally, I think that Jerry is working on something to try to see if he can move Dak around. Because true enough, Dak and Todd France, they are winning. I've said this over and over again in different videos that Todd France, his agent, and Dak Prescott are winning. They are winning. They win regardless. But we're at the point now that Dak has to bet on himself. And Dak has to do something with the team that he has in place. And we do know that the schedule that for 2024 is going to be a lot more difficult than the previous season. So, yeah, Dak is going to have to bet on himself. But what does that mean? Again, it means that it's a possibility that if Jerry was smart, and maybe he's smarter than I am, but I'm just saying, but it's no way I'm allow Dak to play this final year and walk off with this $55.5 million. And again, we know we can't say that this all generated from bad management from the general manager, and you know who the general manager is. Okay? So this is one reason that Jerry's in this position. Him and Stephen Jones are in this position right now. But again, so with Dak, it's a possibility. But personally, what I'm thinking, you're probably going to see something right before draft. Maybe someone takes Dak, and I understand he has no trade call clause. We talked about this. But if And let me say this. Dallas will not draft a quarterback this year. It's not going to happen. Dallas would not draft a quarterback. Why would you draft a quarterback this year when you have a coach, the whole coaching staff on a 1 year contract? What if all fails and now you done went out of the 3 top picks that you have, you waste a pick on drafting a quarterback and not knowing what the future looks like or the season looked like under Mike McCarthy for the 2024 season. So why would you take that risk of drafting a quarterback when you have needs on your offensive line, your backfield, and at your linebacker position? Again, we're not drafting for best player available. We are drafting for need. So you're going to take round 1, 2, or 3 to get a quarterback. No. So, and I say that to say this, when we're talking about moving Dak, only way you're going to move Dak is you go to Dak and say, hey, you know what, Dak, we're going to let you play this out, but we're going to give you the Tony Romo treatment, let you sit on the sideline, hold the clipboard. Y'all remember that? Man, that was hard. That was hard. Even though Dak came in that first year and did great, but just to see Tony Romo on that sideline, oh my gosh, come on, let's go back. And Tony Romo wanted his job back, and basically they said, no, we're going to go with Dak Prescott. That was a hard feeling. So guess what, guys? I'm just preparing you what could take place if the staff or the organization say, Dak, you know what we're going to do. Now, this is the way that Dak will get moved, and I probably mentioned this once before. The way you move Dak is say, Dak, we're going to take the hit on this 55-5 contract, but we're going to go with Trey Lance. We're going to go with Trey Lance. We're going to allow Trey Lance to be our starter this year since, So, and I've explained this. We have to ask ourselves, do you think Dak would sit there and say, okay, I'll take this $55 million and sit on the sideline and hold a clipboard and watch this season play out? Or would Dak say, you know what, I'm going to waive my trading clause and I'm going to go see my agent and see if he can get me moved around? In which Dak is definitely going to be a high commodity. But again, guys, I understand what you're saying. You have to be crazy. Who's out there? But guys, this is a business. This is a business. These guys, these owners, they sit high, they look low, and once they make the decision. So just like gladiators, I said this. So this is the only way you're going to move Dak. But so again, we know that he's going to play out his final season, and because out of the 3 players, 2 out of the 3 is going to get paid. Guys, come on now. CD is going to get paid. They're already offering him. They're already talking 155 million. And then you have Michael Parks. These guys are still on their first year contracts. So who's the odd man out? Let's be honest. Who's the odd man out? It's going to have to be Dak. They can't pay all 3. This all originated because of the bad management of the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. So as much as they probably want to keep Dak, I don't really think they can because they got CeeDee Lamb and they got Michael Parsons. So again, we just have to see what this season looks like and how it turns out. But Dak can win. I'm telling you guys, I understand what you're saying. Oh, I want to see Dak lead, but Dak wins. Dak wins in all 3 phases. He wins. And I understand we want to keep him here, but again, guys, it's a business. We didn't want to see DeMarcus Ware leave. We didn't want to see Emmitt Smith. We cut Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith went to another team. We didn't want to see Troy Aikman leave. We didn't want to see Tony Romo leave. So, guys, we got to get out our feelings and understand. But remember, this is a business. I've witnessed what the business is like firsthand. Being on the sideline, being in the stand, talking to the coaches. I know. So, right when we think everything is hooky-dory, shoot. But anyway, so let's get back to this video. I want to get back to this video because now I got Skip Bayless. Again, Instead of being a thinking man, he's an emotional guy. So I want you guys to listen to what he has to say about Zeke Elliott. And we're going to talk about Zeke Elliott. And yeah, let's see what's going on.
That's what I believe.
Glory be. Love to see it. Don't believe it. Okay. Jerry Jones knows what happened with Zeke and Dak the last time.
Yes.
He got played by both of them.
Stop it.
Jerry does not like to lose negotiations, and he effectively lost both of them badly because they both became bad bets because they didn't give him any bang for the buck. Zeke looked like the best back in football his first 3 years. Then he holds out in Cabo, and finally, near the end of training camp, as the season approached, Jerry caved, as you recall, and Zeke came back from Cabo and signed a big new deal that made him the highest paid running back in pro football. And he hit the wall. Almost immediately, he went down for the next 4 years. He did not give you near the bang for the buck that you gave him. You almost paid him for what past tense he had done as opposed to
I actually thought after his contract, the first 2 years, he played well.
Again, I have to side with Keyshawn Johnson. Oh my gosh, man. Okay, let's go back to Zeke. And I understand that we're talking about that Zeke could probably end up coming back to the Cowboys, but I continue to say that is a bad move when we already owe him $6 million, and now you're going to probably bring him in for $2 million. That's $8 million. That's also $8 million that we could have signed Derrick Henry. So again, I just think it's a bad move right at this time. Right now, it's a bad move. But again, Skip Bayless is an emotional guy. He's not thinking. He's all emotion. When we talk about Zeke, it was up to Zeke's last year that he held the rushing yards over all running backs that was drafted in the same year that he was drafted. It wasn't until his last year, and this is when he was splitting time with Tony Pollard, till it was his last year when Derrick Henry finally surpassed Zeke Elliott in rushing yards. And we sit here and we listen to Skip Bayless say, he went down. No, Zeke didn't go down. Zeke was negotiated. Negotiation came when after Zeke's first, what was it? After his third year, fourth year, something like that, they wanted to conserve Zeke. We want Zeke to split time with another running back. We want to preserve, now that he's making $90 million, we have to protect Zeke. We don't want him out there getting banged up like, we got to save him. He's here making $90 million. So wait a minute. We want to get the longevity out of Zeke. So you come up with this bright idea to bring another running back in to split time with Zeke. Zeke did a interview with Tony Pollard about splitting time in the backfield. And Zeke did mention it was hard at first, but eventually he accepted it. But let's go back to the 80s, 70s, when the running back was a valuable piece to your offense. And it still is today. But it was a valuable piece to the offense. You had a fullback. Let's go back to Tony Dorsett. We can go back to Bully Bob Hayes. We can go back to Calvin Hill. We can go back to all those guys that played for the Cowboys. And their longevity and their durability to the Cowboys team. Back then, they played a running back like a running back. They let him run the damn ball. Tony Dorsett had Newhouse. What was his name? Damn. Yeah. Robert Newhouse as a lead back. That fullback, well, Emmitt Smith had Moose, Daryl Moose Johnston. Now, out of that time or that era with the Cowboys, the fullback may have touched the ball 5%, maybe 10% of the time during the game. Maybe 10%. Could have been 4%. Because 96% of the time, your tailback, your halfback ran the damn ball. Emmitt Smith, let me ask you this. Do you think Walter Payton would have had a problem with, hey, I'm going to split time with this guy over here, and we're going to go 50-50? Do you think Larry Zonka, some of y'all don't even know Larry Zonka, do you think he would have said, hey, he's Larry Zonka? You think Dan Shula was going to say, hey, no, wasn't that Dan Shula? It was, it wasn't no Dan Shula. Don Shula. Come on, I'm going to take you back. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Don Shula. Do you think he's going to make Larry Zonka split time 50-50? Hey, Larry, come out the game. Do you think Larry Zonka would have been the player that he was if he went and played 50% of the time during each game? Do you think Emmitt Smith would be the player that he was if he had to go play 50% of the game? Do you think Tony Dorsett would be the player he was if he played 50% of the game? And then Skip Bayless is saying that, oh, he went down, down, down. No, he didn't go down, down, down. They brought another player in to take half the snaps of the run plays. And I keep saying there's two positions that you cannot substitute. You cannot substitute a quarterback or the running back. You just can't. You can't even really substitute a receiver. I remember when I was in high school, I didn't want to substitute. I'm not, I didn't want what alternate. I'm not alternate. I'm the starting receiver. What the crap? What do you want to do? You could, hey, I tell you what. No, you come in if I need a water break. But no, I got this. Go back to the sideline. And the only way he's gonna get on that field if he slips in, and the player's about to be called. That's the only way I'm giving up my time. Or unless it's a blowout, and I'm gonna take off. But I'm padding my stats. So here we are. We're talking about Zeke. Oh, Zeke was off. I'm explaining to you why Zeke became the player that he was. Because you gave him $90 million, and then you wanted to conserve him. Ooh, we got to get the duration. He's a running back. He's a running back. And one thing about Zeke, he punished players. He didn't run around. He jumped over him or he ran through him. He didn't zigzag and all that. He ran through him or he jumped over him. But for people to sit here and say, well, Zeke, he went down. Oh, he started playing terrible. No, he didn't. Y'all got wise and y'all wanted to come up with these bright ideas to say, oh, well, we're going to conserve him so we can get the duration, the whole 8-9 years. And did you get that? No, you didn't, because you couldn't afford him, so you had to cut him and you released him. And then you had Tony Pollard, which Tony Pollard chose because somebody said, oh, we want to run the damn ball. Well, Mike McCarthy, you know what? Sorry, you didn't do what you had claimed to say you was going to do. You didn't. And we witnessed Tony Pollard is not an every down back. So here we are, guys. We're sitting here talking about this and that, and we're talking about, let me stop sharing this here. So we're sitting here talking about, what's going on with Zeke. I just want to get past this Zeke thing, and then as far as the Dak situation, now I explain to you where we are with Dak. And again, because we don't see anything taking place, or we don't hear anything going on, doesn't necessarily mean that there's nothing not taking place in the war room. Okay, so we got to understand that just because we don't hear anything, don't necessarily mean it can be done. Again, if whatever happens with Dak wins. You hear that, Anthony? My dude, I gotta give it up. Boy, I tell you, he's a diehard Dak fan. But he wins, my man. He wins. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to come on here and share. Like I said, all credits goes to Undisputed and their content that they put out there. But at the same time, I just want to give my 2 cents on what's taking place with the subject that they brought up. But again, man, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we were not in the know as a fan base. We're not in the know. We don't know what's going to take place. But believe me, they are working, and they might can't do much work because they being held like this. Where you going? Come on, where you? Got that pit bull lock on them. Got that Damon. I'm a boy, Damon. I'm a boy. Yeah, Stephen Jones. Jerry Jones. Dak's a boy. I'm a man. So that's where we are anyway. So anyway, guys, thank y'all for stopping through, man. Just my take on what's going on. Thank you for doing this Saturday sit down with your guy G, the #1 Cowboy fan, Hampton. And do me a favor, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit the subscription and make sure you hit the notification bell that you will be notified of the next video. Again, man, thank everyone, man. I am so elated to have the following that we have, the things that's taking place. Man, I'm telling you, it's been a long journey, and I got to give up to my moderator and my co-business partner, Felicia Colley. Because there was a time that I wanted to give up. I think I had 5 followers at one time. I just say, ain't nobody's listening. Probably ain't nobody listening now. But I beg to differ with the subscription number and the views. I mean, it's great to know, man. So again, man, thank y'all, man. I can't thank you enough. And again, go to the website. Can I put the website up here? Let me put the website up here again so you guys can see. Go to the website and just check out. Man, we even got we got some stuff, man. So go to this website if you can, and just go look. We even got the crop tees, we got the sports bra, we got the t-shirts, we even got the women t-shirts in pink. So what you see here is that's a lot more on there. We got throw blankets, we got a lot of stuff going on. So that's www.cowboyshuddleapparel.com. So get a chance, go through there, and like I say, and just be a subscriber so you'll know some of the new things that may come out. So we definitely continue to create new products. We got coffee mugs, we got what do you call them? Tumblers. All that stuff. So go to the website and check it out. So with that being said, like I always say, continue to stay safe and be blessed.